It's a vacant title fight in Brazil. Dan Tom here with MMA Junkie to help you break down the main event for UFC 283 between Glover Teixeira and Jamahal Hill. Teixeira, of course, is a former UFC light heavyweight champion as he won a vacant title not too long ago, but there are a couple vacant titles in the promotion right now, and Teixeira more than deserves his shot, as well as Hill, who has quietly been making his way up the ranks. Hill, of course, was supposed to face Anthony Smith, but with this impromptu matchup being made by the UFC president on the heels of Blachowicz Ankalaev, Hill will happily take the opportunity against Teixeira. At the time of this video, the odds makers in public are slightly siding in the favor of the American, listing Hill in the neighborhood of -120 with the comeback on your underdog Teixeira in the neighborhood of +100 via Tipico Sportsbook. Now, I'm a bit surprised to see this line not be a little wider in Hill's favor. Despite Teixeira officially being 4-0 opposite UFC level lefties, he didn't exactly look to stand very long in those fights, and even against switch stance fighters like Thiago Santos, and more relevantly and recently Yuri Prochazka, there were some interesting southpaw looks in that fight too, where fighters were either able to land at Teixeira's body, since he tends to pressure forward with a bit of a higher guard, as well as classic southpaw weapons like the check right hook. Now, Hill has all those classic weapons of a southpaw in spades, and he likes to go to the body, which I'm a big fan of, but more importantly than what I'm a fan of, it will serve him well in this contest against Teixeira. That being said, despite the 5 rounds Teixeira's age, I actually still think he is better suited in 5 rounds due to his experience and that just being the place where Teixeira, win or lose, lives. He lives in these filthy battles. If he can survive the early storm and not allow a repeat of what happened in his Anthony Johnson fight, rest in peace, Rumble, but I think he can maybe find some success here. Sure, he could fall early to a knockout or even later. Hill is very talented. He should not be overlooked, and no one should be surprised if Hill wins. But you see the shirt, you see the colors. I, of course, am going to be backing Glover's garage here. I think that his left hook will have some play standing. We've seen that with Jamahal Hill as far as that lead hand retraction. But obviously, more importantly, on the ground is the main pathway for Teixeira to see how he could potentially get it there or how Hill could potentially thwart those plans. Check out my in-depth breakdown over at MMAJunkie.com, where you can find results to all the fights this weekend.